Hi, I'm Jordan Gedrose. I work as a landscape architect at a design firm called WSB. So my normal day-to-day role as a landscape architect involves designing streetscapes, parks, plazas. So really kind of bringing in the architectural and engineering components to design. Some of my hobbies include currently playing sand volleyball, golfing, being outside playing tennis. I think growing up, what drew me to landscape architecture was being able to travel. So some of the places that really influenced me were traveling to places like Texas and Pittsburgh, just because I saw a lot of outdoor activities and cool plazas that really inspired me. I grew up in a small town in North Dakota, so very small town of about 1,000 people, so not a lot of architecturally interesting design. So I originally went to college to become an architect, and then I transferred right away in college to landscape architecture simply because I learned what landscape architecture was and that it was an actual profession. So yeah, switched my first year. Um, I just found it to really be a blend of my love for the outdoors and also being able to apply math to design something that's really beautiful and that people want to spend time in. In middle school and high school, I was natural or math came most easily to me. So I was always excelling in math, and I enjoyed science classes and enjoyed art classes. So kind of blending all of those three things together led me to want to pursue architecture because I was debating between different types of engineering or architecture, and I finally pinned down architecture just because I enjoyed the uh, the intersection of the outdoors and the indoors. Um, so that led me to Fargo, North Dakota to pursue architecture. And I think the aha moment for me was, yeah, just learning about landscape architecture and learning that there was a profession where I could still design vertical structures, but also kind of touch on civil engineering as well. Yeah, so I went to North Dakota State University in Fargo, pursuing landscape architecture. Once I graduated with my degree there, I moved to the Twin Cities right after, and I'm currently at the same firm that I started with. During college, I had a variety of internships. So I worked at a landscape nursery in Bismarck, North Dakota. So there I got to really dive into plant material and learn all the scientific names and the fun things that go along with plants. And then I did a summer of landscape installation in Fargo. So we helped with some cool downtown streetscape projects there. And then I also did an internship in Kansas City, Missouri, at a design firm there, which really sparked my interest in working more in an office setting versus working outside. So another sort of typical day as a landscape architect, for me, starting the mornings, I'll meet with my group members and just kind of discuss workload and see what we all have coming up for the day. And then I'll spend a good chunk of my day in AutoCAD drafting. So let's say we're working on a park master plan project. I'll be drafting trails and sidewalks and where shelters will go and bathroom buildings, doing grading plans, figuring out storm sewer. So I'll be in CAD, and then sometimes we do illustrative master plans. And so then I'll be taking line work from AutoCAD and then adding color to it in Photoshop. So those graphics are used in city council meetings and are presented to the public so they have an understanding of what the project will ultimately look like once it's installed. So we have design charrettes, we call them, where a group of 4 or 5 of us will get together and we just spend an hour sketching ideas. So for an example, I can talk about a master planning project. So to kick that off, let's say a city approaches us and they want to make improvements to a city park. So we'll typically just get an aerial off of Google Maps or GIS, and then we'll print off a big 24 by 36 sheet of paper. And then we have thin trace paper, we call it trash paper or bum wad. So we'll roll that over the top, and then we use Sharpies or other markers, and we just start drawing over ideas of, hey, a trail could go here. This would be a good spot for a beach area or open lawn space. So we'll all kind of gather around a table and start sketching. Obviously, COVID doesn't allow us to be all in the same room together. So we've had to find different creative ways to still generate ideas and encourage one another. So the typical design, once we get through the sketching period, then we will bring some of that line work into AutoCAD. So we'll draft it electronically, and then we might print it off and sketch over it again just to see if anything new has come to mind over a week or two's time. And then we will get more into the drafting of the details of the site. So that could be drafting a retaining wall, drafting a footing for a shelter, or drafting a court layout like basketball. So we'll move to that, and then we'll typically have a meeting with the city, and they'll review our plans, and then we'll make revisions and the bid set with the drawings and a cost estimate, and then we will send it out to bidders, and then a contractor will bid on it and implement the project. Yep, so I started helping with COVID-related tasks in September. So our company partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health and the National Guard to set up pop-up temporary COVID testing sites throughout the state of Minnesota. So the problem we are trying to solve is bring barrier-free COVID testing to anyone who thinks they might have COVID, just to give them peace of mind and also to kind of track where hotspots are throughout the state. So some of the COVID sites that I helped organize and facilitate, there's a site in Bloomington, a site in Brooklyn Park. But yeah, I would say those are the two big ones that are still open. Sure, I would say a piece of advice that I would give would be to just continue to be open-minded. So I think it's just really fun to continue learning, even if you decide to go to civil engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever. There's still so many different niche subjects to cover in each degree that I think it's really exciting just to continue to learn and not get boxed into doing one particular thing your whole career. I think one thing that stands out to me from what I learned in school that applies to my current role is just the importance of kind of getting your ideas out on paper quickly. So as a landscape architect, we sketch a lot, just hand sketching. And whether you're outside in a park and you want to sketch a tree or a building, I think it teaches us a lot to look at detail, and we can also add our own ideas to it very quickly and easily. And those can really turn into some great project ideas in any STEM field or role.